and I would see them practice. I've come play pickup at Hubert, and I was like, dang, like, this team looks like really solid. Like, I really haven't seen anything like this.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another weekly episode of our podcast series. I'm Arturo. I'm part of the media team, and I'm here with Potros interviewing and getting to know one of y'all's players, Miguel. You might know him on the field, or you might know him by being in his barber chair. But I'll pass it off to him to introduce himself.
Hey, my name is Miguel. We're doing the interview today, and yeah, ready for it.
And how are you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good. I got a text a couple days ago, saying that for a potential interview, and I was down for it. I'm excited to share my thoughts and my experiences.
Yeah, so let's get into it. For folks who maybe don't know your full story, where did your soccer journey start? Um, and what was like the first spark that made you feel like, oh, I'm in love with the game?
Uh, it started relatively late. I want to say probably like, well, compared to everybody else, 8 years old. And I would say that it just started rec. It's like everybody else, and then I guess at some point, you have your coach wanting to make an academy team. You play for an academy team, but yeah, I guess to answer the second question, um, whenever I decided to take it like more serious was sophomore in high school, and yeah, I mean, I quit everything else I was doing, obviously except for school, and I just decided to do that on my free time.
Nice. And where's like home for you? Did you grow up in Georgia? Did you grow up somewhere else and then found your way in Georgia?
I've grown up in Georgia my whole life, Emerson, Georgia. Never left this spot. I've always been here, Cartersville area. Yeah, it's home to me.
Nice. And do you have any inspiration from home or from your family that you bring onto the field?
I mean, just I would just say like growing up, like my dad being, my biggest supporter and my biggest critic. He would always push me really hard. Doing individual training sessions, running a lot, having a high expectation for me after my games. If I didn't score, um, I wasn't really, doing doing anything really. But yeah, I would say that that's carried over a lot to my drive now for sure.
Nice. So he like your coach, like your home coach.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah, he was my home coach. He pushed me really hard. He had high expectations for me, and I always had to try to, meet those expectations.
And was he like the one who pushed you to go to another level, like doing semi-professional soccer, or was it like another influence?
Honestly, no. I think it was just mainly at a younger age where he was the biggest influence. After that, it was just a big influence on like working and going to school. But I think for me, it was just like my passion for the game that really drove me to wanting to like play at a higher level. And playing semi-pro soccer, playing in the UPSL was the next step for me. Obviously, other than dominating Sunday leagues or even like little pickup games. UPSL was the next thing.
Nice. And I want to touch on something you brought up, balancing school. That's always been soccer and school seems to be a very big part of your life. Um, how is it balancing like being a student while also being a soccer player while also working? Um, when do you have time just for yourself, or how do you manage your time?
Well, I mean, balance. Yeah, it's. I'm relatively new to the school thing. I just started. After 4 years out of high school, I decided that I wanted to do school. Um, it was just like a desire that I've had probably for like half a year, and then I actually executed on it, and that's what I've been doing. But in terms of managing it, Um, I'm still new to it, to be honest, and sometimes I'll be late on assignments because of work, and I'll have to ask some teachers for some to cut me some slack, and then obviously training, the team trainings and my individual sessions. Um, and it's the way that I go about it usually is just try to do like school like for an hour, 2 hours a day, and then you know get get some haircuts going, and then try to get a little session in, before doing some more haircuts. Obviously have to eat,
Mhm.
probably only get to eat like once a day, and then maybe after practice. Um, but yeah, it's working. It's schoolwork in the morning, get haircuts going, eat, and then maybe a little session before or after um, eating, and then back to cutting hair, and then from there, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice. So.
What's your go-to meal every day? As someone who's doing all this stuff, you require a lot of energy, and especially when you're on the field. Just want to get like a sense of like
Mhm,
your
mhm.
diet, especially when you're fit and then always on the run.
No, yeah, go-to meal. I mean, I posted. We have a little group chat to where we post meals on the Discord, and the one that I'm most proud of, the one that I enjoy the most, is avocado toast. You get an egg on there, some
Mm.
avocado, two pretty nutritious things. On some bread, not maybe not sourdough. Not crazy. Healthy, but it makes it taste good. So that's the go-to for sure.
So I know you're a professional, like with hair, being a barber now. How would you
Mhm.
describe like would you say you're professional in the kitchen too?
No, no, not at all. No, I try to make the most simple meals, like um uh before I was really big on like just eating. I was trying to do like carnivore diet. I would only eat like red meat. I have to buy like, you know, some like thinly cut ribeyes and only eat that, and then well, maybe not completely carnivore, some fruit as well. So um but yeah, no, I wouldn't say. I just try to make the most simple things, and that doesn't take too long to make. So yeah,
That
I would
too.
say I'm better at cutting hair than cooking, but yeah, for sure.
Just to fast forward, now like that you're rocking Portos, can you talk to me about like what brought you here and what it's like being part of the squad?
No, yeah. So before I was playing with a different UPSL team, North Georgia United, and yeah, I mean it was just a fallout with I would say like not really any of the players, not really the owner, but like I feel like things weren't resonating with how like I guess like just playing and whatnot. But anyways, regardless of that, it was just I came, and I lived pretty close to where they practice, and I would see them practice. I'd come play pickup at Hubert, and I was like, dang, like this team looks like really solid. Like their practices are really nice. I really haven't seen anything like this when it comes to like their practices and how they go about it. I would watch their games, when there was a gap in between when I wasn't playing UPSL, and yeah, I would see. I was like, dang, like they had won the season, and I was like, dang, like let me go check them out. Let me go try out for them. I wanted to try out that season, but I was too late. They had tryouts like a month before, but it was just bad timing, really. I didn't think I was gonna play that season. I was expecting not to play, and I had decided to text Chris, and he said that tryouts were, I was off, and I understood that. I still tried to, practice, but they took it. They're pretty firm and professional with how they go about like any of those things. But I waited, I practiced, and I tried out, and they decided to go with me. And then once once the practices were there, um, solid warm up, very solid. I remember the first day of trials, it was, or the first day of, I guess the trialist period. I remember they had a solid warm up, solid everything, and then once the season actually started going, they took a lot of things very seriously. Practices, warm ups. Like I said, it was nothing like I've really seen. And I had tried out for Limeño back in 2021 or 2022, and then North Georgia, I'd played with them like 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and then, well, 3 seasons, and and yeah, so it's the really what keeps me there now is like the professional environment. Everyone like takes it very seriously. Practices are very serious, very competitive. I mean, that's all the reason to stay. Like the practices are competitive. Everyone wants a spot. Everyone wants to play. Everyone wants minutes. Um, and I just don't see another UPSL team like you know And I mean, you could say I'm biased. I've been on 2 other teams. I haven't seen it in any other teams, but I mean, yeah, like, regardless, it's the competitive and professional environment that has me, there and trying every day.
Definitely. Just like from hearing like your story, I think a big part is like being persistent. I might be wrong, but like persistent is key for you.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and is this how would was is that how you would describe your style of play like on the field as well? Or what kind of mindset do you have when you step onto the field?
When I step onto the field, I would say that, um, I need to try to win my duels. I need to try to see what's affecting my game. I need to, like, obviously, like, well, that's kinda, off the field, but, when I'm on the field, yeah, like, just win the 50-50s, try to mess up the other team and, um, put effort in, and, those are the main things. If you're not if you kinda mess up, with the ball offensively, etcetera, build the momentum defensively. Go hard on go like, put a lot of effort in on the defensive side because, you know, it's always needed.
Mhm. And now I gotta ask, when it comes to game day, walk me through your game day routine. Um, are there any superstitions you have? Anything that's like a must kind of do on the day of? What kind of music you're listening to before the game?
Uh, um, Nothing too superstitious. I would just say that, I mean, listening to music is cool, on the way there, on the way to the games, and, um, I used to not listen to any, like, Mexican or, like, like, let's just say, any kind of Hispanic music, Mexican music, but, I've really started to get into it, and, right now I'm on norteñas, bandas, corridos, all of that. I don't know, I just enjoy the sound, and yeah, this like the sound of a guitar and accordion. That I think those are what really, um, I guess excite me when I hear the music for sure.
And speaking of excitement, what are you most excited about for the rest of the season? Any personal goals or things you're locked in on?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, my goal is really to, individual goals, really just to, I mean, continue to get better, continue to like I just want to go see myself go up another level, and that's really the main thing. I want to see myself, with more minutes on the field, and just assert myself as a key player at some point. That's really the goal. Um, and but also, like, I want to see us. I mean, that's individually, but I want to see us get to playoffs. I mean, even if I'm not. always on the pitch or on the pitch, then like I know that at practice I'm pushing the guys that are playing to to I'm pushing them. It, like I guess when like at practice, I'm the ones pushing the starters. So then when they play, they don't feel like okay, like I guess we're all pushing each other, to get better. So um I'm kind of dependent on them at practice and then how they play in the games as well. So, there's these things that like connect, and I would say so. Um, but I want us to get to the playoffs, and I want us to get far and and do head to the national tournament, hopefully.
Mhm. No, I feel like you guys are definitely gonna get there because just from witnessing y'all play as a team, like pushing each other, it's like any other sport, right? There's gonna be some bantering with each other, but it's all like with love. But even the bantering, or not even bantering, I see, it's just more like you guys are just like you said, just pushing each other to the best, to be the best possible selves on the field, and even off the field too. Like when you're not on the little tripod camera from the press box. Um, just hearing you guys like after any game, just like chit chat or just have those like words of encouragement with one another. It's really assuring to see how you guys are moving as a team and your strategies like to be focused on one another. I mean, you guys have different. I don't know the actual strategy of the team, like when you guys
Mhm,
play, but one strategy that I do see from outside is like that team building the this is one team kind of unit
mhm. Yeah, yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
I'm not sure if that kind of made any sense, but in soccer
No,
terms, but if you get me, you get
no,
me.
chemistry wise, yeah, 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 absolutely. I think that's a big thing. I think that almost being like one unit versus 11 different kind of like individual players, is definitely key to like winning games. I mean, that's how you that's a good way to go about it. A team's always going to be 11 players.
Yeah, exactly. And each player has like their own specific role and job, but when you're able to balance each other out with the chemistry
Hmm.
like y'all have, um, it's gonna mean so much. It means so much, and like moving towards y'all's goal of going to nationals is it achievable.
Oh yeah, 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 absolutely. By the way, I got that from Frankie. One team's going to beat 11 players. I remember him saying that. But yeah, 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 for sure. I mean, yeah, having that chemistry, building it off the field, not just in practice, but before games, when we go eat together, it's key for sure.
And before we wrap up, I'm gonna hit you with a quick rapid fire question round.
Mhm.
But before we get to that part, I just wanted to ask, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or bring up in this podcast? Anything about you that we should know about, or about the team, or anything in general?
I don't really have anything in mind, but I think we covered a lot, honestly.
So now we're gonna go into the quick rapid fire.
Mhm.
Um, and overthinking, just the first thing that comes to mind. Ready?
Okay.
All right. Favorite player growing up.
Messi.
Favorite meal after a win.
Burgers.
Dream stadium to play in.
What was that?
Dream
Dream
stadium to play
Dream
in.
Stadium? Probably the Bernabeu.
Ooh. Your go-to hype song.
Go to hype song. Right now it's Flor Hermosa by Los Cuates de Sinaloa.
Ooh, nice. And then you already answered this one, but Messi or Ronaldo?
Well, I kind of didn't. Favorite player growing up was Messi, but I don't know. I've started to just grow this love for Ronaldo. So Ronaldo,
Got you. And then any advice for young players coming up?
prepare, prepare. I mean, just yeah, that's the main thing. Prepare for what's coming next. College, UPSL. That's gonna help you get. farther in your career journey.
Thank you. Thank you for like being here with us. We appreciate you tapping in with us. Um, and I wanted to say this, where can people find you? Instagram handles or
Yeah.
Facebook, maybe
Yeah,
like your own website?
Instagram. I have a link for my for my calendar, if not direct message. Um, but yeah, Miguel at Miguel with the I and the Miguel being one, and then Hernandez 0. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks for
Alrighty.
having me.
So big love to
Yeah.
our yeah, of course. Big love to our guest Miguel, and big love to everyone watching, supporting this podcast, and also watching our games. Make sure to follow us on the socials and stay tapped in, and we'll catch y'all for the next one.